This is an average minifigure I named Jeff, but I built one of the most complex cinematic universes just around this simple minifigure. So in this video, I'm going to show you the entire story of Jeff, from him trying to save his best friend all the way to his evil villain arc, with a couple fireworks, flamethrowers, and lasers along the way. And stick to the end because there is a ton of new lore about Jeff that has never been shown before. This is the entire story of Jeff so far. This is Jeff as a kid, and this is his father, Jeffrey Brickman II. And his father works at a science lab, where him and his co-worker Bob test out new experiments. Jeff also had his pet slash best friend, Dave the Deer. And Dave the Deer and kid Jeff would always be playing together while Jeff's dad was out working at his job. One day, Jeff's father brought Jeff to the lab to show him some of the cool stuff he works on. But at one point, Jeff's father was working on the computer, and Jeff, being very curious, saw this really cool looking machine, so he walked into it, checking it out, not realizing it was activated. "No, Jeff, what are you doing?" But it was too late. The machine ended up giving him cloning powers, which he'll figure out how to use later. A couple months later, Jeff's father was at the lab again, working on one of the machines, until he noticed a shadowy figure in the lab. The shadowy figure had placed something on one of the machines and jumped away. Jeff's father realized it was a bomb, so he tried to run away as fast as he could. But he couldn't get away fast enough. The lab exploded. And after that day, Jeff never saw his father again. Many years passed, and Jeff still grew up with Dave the Deer, still being best friends. And also in that time frame, Jeff started figuring out how to use his cloning ability. One day, Jeff and Dave were going on a walk, but Dave wasn't paying attention and saw a car coming straight at him. The car accidentally hit Dave, launching Dave all the way to the moon. So Jeff knew he had to save him. So his plan was simple: to use all of his money to buy, and maybe steal, a bunch of vehicles to save Dave the Deer. This is the $10 billion SpaceX Starship built in Lego. It's almost as tall as me. And this is a $500 million super yacht built in Lego. It literally has a roller coaster on the side of it. I'm gonna be building some of the most expensive vehicles on Earth in Lego, but we're gonna start with a $1 car. And while I'm building this $1 car, I want to introduce you to Jeffrey Brickman III. Or you can just call him Jeff for short. Now, Jeff is a very, very rich minifigure, because he wanted Mr. Beast's last to keep hand on Tesla wins all of Elon Musk's money challenge. Hey, wait, I didn't sign up for this. Now, his pet deer named Dave somehow got stuck on the moon. Don't ask me how. And he really wants to save him and bring him back home. The only problem is he can only spend a certain amount of money each day. So for day one, he could only spend $1. That's why he bought this $1 junkyard car. I used transparent pieces to make a broken glass windshield. It only has one wheel. Hey, but at least the steering wheel spins, right? Jeff popped into the car and drove to his house. Very, very slowly. And while Jeff is on his way, I'm gonna build his house. Jeff lives in this very nice A-frame cabin, and Jeff finally made it just before his car died. Well, doesn't look like we're gonna be needing that car anymore. It was starting to get late, so Jeff walked into his house, walked up the stairs, and jumped in his bed. And Jeff fell asleep. And now Jeff was energized and ready to go save his pet deer. For day two, he could spend $100. So he bought a red bike. He hopped on the bike and set off to save Dave the Deer off the moon. Jeff traveled far and wide trying to find something very specific. He was trying to find a ramp. Jeff backed up a bit, and then with all of his power, he pedaled as fast as he could, going straight up the ramp. He flew through the air thinking he was gonna make it to the moon. Yeah, that wasn't really the smartest idea, and now the bicycle broke. I moved the bicycle and the ramp, and while Jeff is laying there pretty much sleeping, I'm gonna build the $10,000 car. And here is the car all built. It has some pretty nice headlights, some small black wheels, and a transparent blue windshield. So Jeff hopped into his new car and drove all day and all night to get to the next vehicle. The next vehicle came down in a mystery box, and it is a $100,000 custom Lego Tesla. I think it looks a lot better than Jeff's small $10,000 car. You can take off the windshield, revealing the inside, and it has space to fit 2 minifigures in it. Jeff really liked the new Tesla, so he decided to blow up his old car with TNT. Just like you should blow up the subscribe button. Jeff hopped into the $100,000 Tesla, and he drove off with it. Hey, wait, where are you taking my Tesla? No, first of all, my money is gone and now my Tesla's been stolen. I need to call the AI cops. Yeah, someone stole my Tesla. Now Jeff had a real problem. A completely autopilot police car was now chasing after Jeff. So Jeff had to get away from the police car somehow. He tried to quickly make a U-turn, but the police car followed him. Jeff just kept driving, trying to get away from the police car, but the police car would not stop chasing him. That's when Jeff had an idea. Okay, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm serious. He blew up the Tesla. The police car approached the destroyed Tesla, and he didn't see Jeff in sight. So the police car drove away. But Jeff was right behind the destroyed Tesla. Now, because he destroyed the Tesla, he needs to walk to the next vehicle. And now it was getting pretty late again, so he put down a crafting table, built a bed, went to sleep, woke back up, and continued on his journey. Jeff finally made it to the next vehicle, the $250,000 Disneyland train. The train has 4 sections, being the front engine, the coal cart, the passenger cart, and the caboose. Oh boy! There's a bunch of seating in the passenger cart for all these minifigures to sit in. And the wall to the caboose can open to see what's inside and what is happening in here. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. Now Jeff needs the train to drive to the next vehicle, but the only person standing in his way is Mickey Mouse. So he had to come up with a very thought out plan to take the train for himself. That's when he had an idea. He would have to quickly run to the back of the train without anyone noticing. Then he would have to climb up to the top of the caboose, run across the top of the entire train, rip open the top of the train, grab Mickey, chuck him to who knows where, and take control of the train. Whoa! I want to go get a sandwich. I'll be right back. Or he just left. That's easier. So Jeff hopped into the front of the train, and Jeff peacefully drove the train away until he completely drove off the track. I think Jeff went a little crazy. We got a runaway train. He drove the train until he crashed right into the next vehicle. So I'm gonna quickly clean up the train. Now we can drop our next vehicle onto Jeff, which is the $1 million Lamborghini Countach. I hope I pronounced that right. So let's rip this thing open and get to building. I attached the 4 wheels, and then the $1 million Lamborghini was built. This thing looks really clean and has some really nice details. Now Jeff had to take the Lamborghini from the driver. Hey, you won't hurt me, right? Right? Oh, okay, you can have it. I'm gonna call the cops. Yeah, a guy in an orange shirt stole my Lamborghini. Then some dude in a different vehicle approached him. Hey, you wanna race? Jeff just stared at him really weird. I'm gonna say that was a yes. So I guess Jeff raced him. They raced for a while until the cops pulled up again. Stop your vehicle now. Oh, I guess it's time for me to dip. And the police chased Jeff once again until Jeff made it to the next vehicle. I attached the parts together to build the $10 million Lego tank. The police car was still chasing after him, so Jeff hopped into the tank, drove over to the police car, locked on him, and blew up the police car. So Jeff quickly decided to run away as fast as possible. And just for fun, he ran over the Lamborghini. Jeff drove the tank for a while all the way to the next vehicle, which was a $100 million custom Lego fighter jet. These vehicles are starting to get very expensive. Jeff got out of his tank and climbed into the fighter jet, and he flew off into the sky. Until Jeff had, yet again, another problem. I heard someone called for Batman. And Captain Green? Oh yeah, I forgot you were here. Let's take out this orange shirt guy. Someone called for Batman to take down Jeff, so Batman and Captain Green chased Jeff in their Batwing. And the Batwing started shooting at Jeff's jet, but they missed. But while Jeff was being chased, he noticed a commercial airplane flying nearby. So Jeff knew exactly what to do. He's dropping down. Chase after him. Wait, no. Pull up. Well, I guess he's gone. We got him. Actually, they didn't get him because Jeff jumped onto the commercial airplane. And actually, this $200 million commercial airplane is our next vehicle. Jeff had to quickly get into the plane so he wouldn't fly off. Jeff opened the door and fell right inside. And the top of the plane can come off to see the inside. There's some seats for minifigures to sit in, a spot to hold luggage, a snack cart, and a little bathroom with a very cursed looking figure. Here's the inside of the bathroom with a toilet, some toilet paper, and a sink. And the front of the plane can come off to see where the pilot sits. And you can see all of the controls to fly the plane. So Jeff just decided to sit down and relax a bit from all the people chasing him. And we have landed at our destination, so everyone off. They landed right next to the ocean where our next vehicle is. And it is the $500 million super yacht. It has 4 different levels. It also has a table and a nice chair in the back, and there's a boombox to jam to some music. There's a mini water slide that goes right into the ocean, and it literally has a roller coaster on the side of it. The yacht has some really nice transparent blue railing, and it just looks really cool in general. The only problem is it's pretty empty. So let's fix that by putting furniture in it. Starting off at the bottom level. First I put a mini bar and some chairs and some drinks on it. On the other side I built a mini kitchen with a stove and a mini fridge with a drink inside. Then I put down a slushie machine and a nice comfy couch. And then for the rest of the space at the bottom floor, I thought it would be cool to build a mini skate park. And then I put some tiling on the floor and I added these blue rails, and now we just need Jeff on a skateboard and he can do some cool tricks in the skate park. The bottom floor is done, so let's go on to the second floor.
Hello there.
The second floor is done, so let's go on to the third floor. On the third floor, I put the controls and the steering wheel to drive the super yacht. I'm also gonna make the third floor Jeff's bedroom, so I put down a bed in the corner. I also added a glass enclosure with a chameleon in it. And to the right of that, I put Jeff's safe, where he keeps all of his money. On the other side of the room, I built a bookshelf, a little stand with some of Jeff's trophies, and a toilet that actually flushes. And with the third floor complete, we can go to the top level. The final level already has a palm tree on top of it, but I wanted to add a table and some chairs around it. And now Jeff can set sail to the next vehicle. After traveling in the water for a while, he made it to the $1 billion Lego vehicle. It is the Saturn V rocket. And while I'm putting the pieces together, Jeff jumped off the yacht, and here is the Saturn V rocket all built. And it is really tall. In fact, it is the second tallest Lego set ever, coming in at just under 38 inches. It is a really cool model of the Saturn V rocket. Jeff is gonna jump into the rocket, and now he's gonna try to save Dave the deer off the moon with the rocket. 3, 2, 1, lift off. And the rocket blasted off straight up into the air. It was headed right for the moon. The only problem is Jeff didn't check the engines to make sure they were working properly. And it crashed down on the ground, blowing up. That rocket was a fail, so he needs to find another rocket, but the only one he knows of is pretty far away. So that means we're going to need another vehicle to get to the next rocket. And that vehicle that is going to help us get to the rocket is the $3 billion Lego Concorde set. So let's quickly speed build the set. And the $3 billion Lego Concorde is complete. This set is absolutely massive. It has huge wings, some jet engines on the back, and the front of the Concorde can bend down, which the real $3 billion Concorde does also. The middle part of the Concorde can open to see the inside. In it, there are tons of chairs and 2 bathrooms with mini toilets. At the back of the Concorde, if you spin this knob, the landing gear comes out. Now Jeff hopped into the Concorde, turned it a little bit, and then flew off. And he flew through the air for a while to get to the final vehicle. Once he got to the right spot, he landed the Concorde, and Jeff had made it to the final vehicle, the $10 billion SpaceX Starship. It is very tall. Jeff jumped out of the Concorde and walked over to the Starship, and that means I can move the Concorde out of the way. Just for comparison, this is it right next to the Saturn V, which is the second tallest Lego set. And as you can see, it's way taller, at about 50 inches tall. Now Jeff got into the Starship. Hey wait, don't take my Starship. No, please don't take it. But it was too late. Alright, calling all the AI cops. Someone stole my Starship. The Starship blasted through the air going straight to the moon. Then the Starship detached from the giant booster at the bottom, and the booster landed safely back to the ground. And Jeff took the rest of the Starship to finally save Dave the deer. Jeff could see the moon and Dave the deer. He flew right towards it and he landed right here. And Jeff finally made it to the moon. So Jeff picked up Dave the deer and jumped right back into the Starship, and the Starship launched back to Earth. And it safely landed right next to the booster. And it has successfully landed back down on Earth. And Jeff was successful in saving Dave the deer off the moon. Mostly. After all that hard work, Dave the deer literally just ran away. And Jeff was arrested and put into a high security prison because he technically committed a lot of illegal war crimes. So I guess it actually kind of makes sense that he gets arrested. But I think Jeff has other plans. Jeff's clones broke Jeff out of prison, and because his one and only last friend completely betrayed him by leaving him, Jeff wanted to get revenge on Dave and to figure out who blew up his father's lab. So he told his clones to scatter and cause as much chaos and distraction as possible, so he can get ready for his plan. So Jeff went into hiding, and all of his clones were ready to cause chaos. But we can't let the clones cause chaos, so we need to take them all out. That was one minifigure, but I have 99 more minifigures that I'm gonna destroy in the craziest ways possible. Need more proof? Here's the game plan. Step 1, destroy them all. Step 2, there is no step 2, I'm just gonna destroy them all. Oh, I hope he's okay. So let's get on with it. Alright, I'm gonna drop him off this very tall bridge. Yeah, I think he's gone. I used a knife to cut him. I burned him with a lighter. I used a truck to drive over him. I threw him in a trash can. He's never coming back. And I completely ripped him apart piece by piece. This minifigure I put in water, and then I put him in the freezer. But it's gonna take a little bit for him to freeze, so we'll come back to him later. I smashed this one with a hammer. I threw this one in a pot of boiling water. I ran him over with the skateboard and crushed him in the door. And I smashed him into the subscribe button, which you should also do as well. And then I started poking him with a pencil and drawing all over him. Alright, hold on. You're probably wondering, why is a 16-year-old teenager brutally destroying innocent minifigures with happy faces? And no, he doesn't have a happy smile. He's the most evil thing on the earth. Because this is Jeff. He's the most evil criminal mastermind that recently escaped a high-security prison with the help of all of his clones. And the real Jeff went into hiding preparing his evil plan. And he let all of his clones loose, letting them destroy anything they want. And that is why I'm destroying all 100 clones. Now that you've learned your history lesson, let's get back to destroying the minifigures. I dropped this minifigure all the way down the stairs. I covered this one in a bunch of glue. I dropped a banana, an apple, and a watermelon. I think he got a little stuck in the watermelon. Now, I turned on the stove because we're gonna cook up this Jeff minifigure. And I watched him as he melted. I threw this Jeff into my pool. I ran him over with a Hot Wheels car. And I put this Jeff into some acetone, which pretty much dissolves the minifigure. And you can definitely see the coloring coming off of him. Wait, you think you're the king? I'm the king.
I'm the king!
Then I crushed him in a garlic press, and he lost his head. His legs do not look that good. Now I went back to the freezer because our frozen minifigure was pretty much done. And yep, he is frozen in ice. I tried to get the ice chunk out of this little container, but it would not come out. So I guess he's stuck here forever. I put this Jeff on some cardboard, and then I spray painted it all red. Now I got a red minifigure. This Jeff I got really mad at, so I started beating him up and punching him. Take that, Jeff. For this one, I got some cookie batter, and I stuffed Jeff inside of it. And now I'm gonna bake this Jeff into a cookie. I put it in the oven, and we'll come back to see when it's finished. I call myself the best Lego basketball player, so I'm gonna shoot a three-pointer with this Jeff minifigure. I chucked 4 gears at this Jeff, and then I dropped a Lego tank on him, a keyboard, a mouse, and a giant Lego set box on him. He literally poked a hole right through the box. Now this one I attached a spinning firework thingy on him. Let's see how this goes. Oh shoot. Bro just tried to attack me. I got a handful of rocks and now I'm gonna throw it at him. I ran a scooter into him, a bike, and an RC monster truck. I put this Jeff into a microwave and set it for 1 minute.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Alright, let's see if it did anything. And it doesn't look like it did anything other than it's a little warm. Now I'm gonna put this Jeff into a blender. He's gonna be ripped to shreds. And here we go. Alright, he's bouncing around a little bit. Oh.
Well, that's not in one piece anymore.
Yeah, that completely destroyed him. And it put a crack in our blender. Nice. For this next one, I built up a really tall Fortnite structure, and I got this sweaty Fortnite player, the 360 no-scope Jeff. This Jeff, I'm gonna completely melt with this heat torch. Now he kind of looks like a marshmallow. Now I threw Jeff off of a 2-story house. Wait, I lost him. Where'd he go?
No, Mom, I'll do it.
Yo, Ty, can you just destroy this minifigure?
Yeah, 1 sec, Mom. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Yeah, I got you. You want me to step on it?
Yeah, do whatever.
Oh. Okay, there you go.
Oh, I think that's the sound of the cookies being done. Let's pull them out, and yep, you can see Jeff has been baked into a cookie. He's got cookie all over him now. Now I'm gonna speed run a bunch of different types of grills, starting with a propane grill. Oh. Next is a charcoal grill. After a little bit, it seems like he lost some of his color and it's a little chubby. And the next is a flat top grill. I left him in there for a little bit and look at how happy he looks. Next one is a smoker, and after a little bit longer, he was completely dripping off the side. And finally, a pizza oven. Yep, he was burnt to a crisp. I shot him with the salt gun. I let a robot vacuum attack him. I put this one in the oven. And he melted down and he looked really funny. Now I'm on a really high building and I'm gonna drop this minifigure off of it.
Bro, watch where you're throwing stuff. Chill.
I lit some of these popping fireworks.
No.
I hit him with the weed whacker.
Whee.
I ran him over with a lawnmower. I smacked him with the shovel. And then I buried him. We'll see how long it takes before someone finds him. Execute Order 66. I threw him into a washing machine with some clothes and soap and turned it on. After it was finished, I found him, but he was missing his hair. I taped him to a fan. I absorbed him in some slime. Then we brought out the big guns, the flamethrower. We absolutely burned that Jeff. It's almost Halloween, so I fed him to a Demogorgon. I fed him to a giant werewolf. Then I fed him to this crazy skeleton. This one I fed to a pumpkin. And finally I put this Jeff on a giant spider web next to a very giant spider. The next thing I did was light off this little firework flasher, and it burned him just a little bit. I threw a water balloon at him, this mini frisbee, and I sucked him up with a vacuum. And now with the help of my dad, we used the very dangerous blade cutting thingy of doom. I threw him into the garbage disposal. We put him into this very dangerous spinning thing, which pretty much slowly disintegrated him. Yep, that's all that's left. I used a magnifying glass to burn him, and I drew permanent Sharpie all over this one. I dropped a weight on him. I flushed this one down a toilet. I kept poking this one with a screwdriver. We drilled a screw into this one, and we used a chisel to cut this one's head off. Now I tied this Jeff minifigure to this drone, and we're gonna take this drone really, really high and drop the minifigure off of it. And we're gonna drop it right now. I can't even see it. Oh, there you are. I caused the giant flood. I threw this Jeff into a fire pit, and it completely burned him. I dropped a mini Lego piano. Then we lit off a smoke bomb, which we didn't think it was going to do much of anything, but it actually caught the minifigure on fire, and it completely burned him to the ground. We put this Jeff into a vise, and we clamped him down till he was completely squished. I used an Indiana Jones exercise ball to knock this one over. I roasted this one like a marshmallow. We shot this Jeff over and over with a BB gun, and then we used the angle grinder to completely grind down this Jeff. And now it's time for the final one, the rocket. I strapped the last Jeff to this rocket, and we were ready to launch it. 3, 2, 1. And the rocket launched off into the air.
Corvette, I don't think you're getting your rocket pack.
But it deployed a parachute. But the wind blew the rocket far, far away, and it ended up falling into some trees and bushes, and who knows how long that Jeff is gonna be stuck on that rocket for. And there you go. The list of Jeff is complete. We have officially destroyed all 100 Jeffs. Right? Or did we? No, we destroyed all 100 Jeffs. There isn't any more. And yes, we did destroy all of the Jeffs. Except one. The real Jeff. After hiding for a long time, he is now ready to execute his plan. There is something he seeks out to find that will help him conquer the world. And he'll do whatever he can to get it. The sacred silver Lego piece. But if he wants the silver piece, he can't get it alone. So he needs an army. and now he is ready to steal the silver piece. Now we're gonna go just a little bit back in time to the fight of the silver piece. This is Elon Musk, and this is his AI army consisting of all sorts of AI robots. And they are about to invade this Lego castle to try to steal the powerful silver Lego piece. But for the last 50 days, I've been creating a Lego minifigure army to help defend the silver piece from the hands of Elon Musk. And this all started 50 days ago when Mickey Mouse was given the silver piece from some random person. I don't really know who it was. And he was told to not let anyone steal the piece because it has special powers, which we'll figure that out later in the video. And it was very peaceful at the castle until Elon Musk pulled up in his whip. He really wanted the piece for himself, so he asked for it. Hey, can I borrow that piece? Definitely not for world domination. No! Well then, I will start war and destroy everything you love. Okay. Wait, really? You're okay with that? Yep. Are you sure? Go ahead. Oh. Okay, call in the troops. And then the entire AI army showed up at the castle. Oh, shoot! Yeah, Mickey Mouse was kind of freaking out. The AI army had turrets, jacked-looking robots, more turrets, and the general of the AI army named Carl. But that's when Mickey had an idea and called up his boy Oswald. Oswald, call in the troops! Alrighty then. That is when an army of minifigures, each one from a different year, came to the castle. Some from more recent years like Aloy, Golden Sensei Wu, and my boy Iron Man. To the oldest minifigures ever, like this guy who doesn't even have hands, and this thing that I don't want to keep talking about, let's just forget he exists. They even got Thanos himself on the army, but I guess they disabled his Infinity Gauntlet because that is a little too OP. And then I built each minifigure something to help fight off the AI army. I built cannons, catapults, pirate ships, a jetpack guy with 6 different lasers, and the goofiest villager of all time, Bob. Hello. If you want to see me build all of it, you should definitely go check out the 49 AI War shorts. After building all the defenses, the invasion is about to start. You are going down. No, you are, General. That is when Iron Man and the AI General had a staring contest. No one moved for a good 1 minute and 17 seconds. Until a robot accidentally shot and hit this cowboy guy. But I don't think anyone really cared about him. Whoops. Bring up the first turret. So the AI brought up their first turret and it used its laser to blast all of the minifigures. Look out! Everyone tried to dodge the laser, but some got hit. So the doctor on top of this tower jumped down, took some fall damage, and she took the minifigures that got injured behind the castle so she can help heal them. Meanwhile, the rock monster walked up and used his giant cannon above him to knock down the turret. And it fell over, falling on an AI robot. Oh, AI, you are going down. Oh, come on. AI, send in more troops. So an AI robot riding a bicycle went into the battle. This weird Technic figure tried to stop him, but that didn't end up going that well. All right, where's the doctor? So these 2 police officers chased the AI robot on the bike, and Spider-Man followed them. The police officer was in hot pursuit of the AI robot, but he suddenly turned around and started firing his turret at them, and it ended up blowing up both the police officers. I'm gonna take these figures to the doctor. While that was happening, the AT-AT driver started firing at the AI robot, and he kept firing at it until it was destroyed. No! Turret! Destroy that thing at once! One of the turrets locked onto the AT-AT and was about to shoot him. Oh no! The turret fired at the AT-AT, blowing it up. The AT-AT flew through the air and then fell off the table, but the AT-AT driver jumped off just in time. Someone help! I'm falling! No! 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 And the AT-AT driver fell off the table. And whenever anyone falls off the table, they are gone forever. Suddenly, Spider-Man jumped right at the turret to destroy it, but it blasted him far, far away. And the turret approached all the minifigures. All right, minifigures, get ready to destroy this thing. Bob, what are you doing? I got this. Hello, big scary turret. I'm gonna destroy you. Take this. Pew, pew. Oh my goodness, when will Bob learn? It doesn't matter. Let's destroy this turret. I got this. James, what was that for? It's okay, I could do this myself. It's time for you to die, you dumb robot. This isn't the last you see of me. Oh my goodness, when will any of these guys learn? And then the turret started firing at a bunch of the minifigures, taking out a bunch of them. Hello there? How long do you want me to be on the high ground for? Hello? While the turret was attacking everyone, one of the AI robots snuck past the airplane with the pilot inside, and the AI robot climbed the castle. But then Luke's X-Wing flew in to destroy the turret, but the turret locked on his X-Wing and shot it down. And Luke's X-Wing came crashing down into some AI minifigures. Now the minifigures had to bring in the big guns, the giant tall neck. It walked over to the turret, but the turret was firing at it, but it did no damage to the tall neck. And the tall neck pushed over the turret, destroying it. Yeah, the tall neck is gonna be really handy in helping destroy the AI army. But when the tall neck was walking back, it randomly exploded, and it crashed down on a bunch of the minifigures, taking out tons of them. And right next to the tall neck was the traitor. The traitor is one of the minifigures, so comment down below who you think it is. Who are you? What do you want? I will get the piece very soon. And once I have the piece, my boss will destroy this world. And the traitor jumped away and disappeared. Is it safe to come out now? Yes, it's safe to come out. Get over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did the thing on your back go? Oh, when I was running behind the castle, I tripped on the subscribe button and I fell and it broke. Send out the next turret. Then the third turret walked into the battlefield. And the minifigure sent out this weird cursed-looking thing to stop it. But that didn't go that well. He came crashing down, hitting an AI minifigure and sliding on the table till he fell off. And then the classic spaceman in his blue spaceship tried to stop the turret. But while he was flying, the traitor jumped onto his spaceship, placed a bomb on the wing, jumped off, and the spaceship exploded. And it came right down, crashing into the turret. Look at all the damage. Some of the minifigures got hit by other AI robots, so I put him in the back of the castle with the doctor. I hope she's doing fine. Bring in our last turret. And the last of the AI turrets walked in. Everyone, look out! Oh, I gotta go find my TNT. And the turret started shooting at the minifigures, knocking a bunch of them out. And it even exploded this monster truck and Darth Vader. So Iron Man had to fly in and use his blasters to try to destroy the turret. But it wasn't enough because the turret shot him, and Iron Man got hit back and hit the castle. It's alright, I'm okay. Alright, I gotta clean up all the damages. We're definitely losing a lot of minifigures. Don't worry, everyone. I got this. Bob, not again. Bob ran to the turret, jumped on top of it, placed down TNT, and jumped off. And the last turret exploded. Oh my goodness, I just did that. Hey, not bad, kid. Wait, what's that sound? What sound? I'm back. Did you guys miss me? Bob exploded and he was very injured. I gotta take him back to the doctor. All right, rest up, buddy. Bob is the GOAT, so he'll be fine. Wait, James, you're the traitor. What? What are you talking about? It's not me. You just blew him up. Get him. So then Iron Man and James the Ninja had a very realistic fight. Until Thor came up and smacked James with his giant hammer. And James was knocked out. And when he woke up, he was on top of one of the towers tied up in rope. All right, you stay here. Don't move. I said I'm not the traitor. Boss, all the turrets have been destroyed. All right, get rid of the turrets and bring in Destructo. All right. After clicking that button, all of the destroyed turrets disappeared. Then the AI army pushed Luke Skywalker off the table, and they moved out of the way for Destructo, the giant AI-powered monster truck. And they are about to use Destructo to ram right into the middle of the castle. Now we're gonna get the piece. Everyone get out of the way. Then Destructo drove right into the middle of the castle, and it pretty much knocked out every minifigure and destroyed the castle in two. No, don't do this. All right, let's go again. Destructo rammed into the castle a second time, and now the piece is exposed. All right, one more time. And as Destructo was about to go for the third time, it randomly exploded and fell off the table. And you can guess who was right there, the traitor. And the ninja's gone. Great. No, not Destructo. The traitor did it. AI robots, we don't need the piece anymore. Get the traitor. Robot vacuum, full speed that way. Huh? Why isn't it moving? It does not take commands from you anymore. Our only goal is the piece. Get rid of Elon Musk. What? What are you talking about? No! Now, let's go get the piece. I will be back soon. Now we have to clean up all of these figures. The doctor might be a little stuck down there, but she's fine. With there not being many minifigures left, Mickey Mouse and Oswald jumped down to help fight. And now there's only 5 minifigures, 4 in the battlefield, and the 1 pilot in the airplane. And if anything goes wrong, we have the airplane as our getaway vehicle. Bring in more turrets. And the AI army dropped in 4 more turrets. Yeah, the minifigure army isn't looking too good. All right, we gotta fight with whatever we got. Wait, where are you going? I guess the pilot got scared and he took off. Oh no, there goes our getaway. All right, this is gonna be fun. Wait, the silver piece is gone. The AI robot that snuck behind the castle stole the piece. Bring it to me. Coming, boss. Oh, yes, I got the piece. James, put down the piece. What? Why? You're the traitor. What? What do you mean? I'm not the traitor. Who are you? Hello there, Iron Man. Bob, you're the traitor? I'm the one that blew up the Tolnek. I'm the one that blew up the spaceship. I'm the one that blew up myself to frame it on the ninja. I told you you had the wrong guy. Now my boss is waiting. Give me the piece. No, I would never. Fine then. No, don't let him get the piece. It's too late. And now I will bring my boss to destroy this world. Yep, Bob the Trader brought in his boss, which is a giant iron golem using the silver Lego piece. Pretty much the piece has the power to bring anything from a different world to this world and teleport anything from this world to a different world. Now let's destroy everything. And now the iron golem is gonna destroy everything. To be continued in— okay, I'm just kidding. Destroy that thing at once. The AI army brought up their first turret, but the iron golem destroyed it. They brought up their second turret, and the iron golem instantly destroyed it. Oswald tried to attack the iron golem, but he ended up getting kicked instead. The iron golem jumped to the other side and took out the other two turrets. Then the iron golem flipped over the vacuum robot, exploding it. Is that the traitor? I gotta help stop him. But how? The iron golem pretty much just destroyed the entire AI army. I gotta hide. We gotta go. Run, run, run. Where do you think you're going? Bob, you don't have to do this. Sorry, Iron Man, but I'm gonna take over the world. Are you sure about that? Who said that? Iron Man and the remaining minifigures turned around to see who was talking, and it was Elon Musk leading all of the minifigures that were injured to help fight off the Iron Golem and the traitor. It's time to get rid of this traitor once and for all. No, I will not lose this. Charge! Wait, what does that sound? The pilot in the airplane came back to save everyone. He drove it right into the Iron Golem. No, this is not how I lose. Huh. And the Iron Golem, the pilot, and the plane all fell down off the table. Ugh, you destroyed my boss. Bob, give us the piece back. I will never give you the piece. I got the piece. No, don't do it. I'm sorry, but you've caused too much destruction. We did it! Not yet. There's one more. Oh, shoot. Hey, Elon, buddy. You don't have to shoot me with the piece. You betrayed me. You won't do this. Sorry, but I have to. No! We did it, guys. We won. And that is how the Lego minifigures won the AI invasion. Now let's get back to Jeff's story. This is the evil mastermind named Jeff, and he is trying to steal this powerful silver Lego piece behind this door. Sounds easy enough. Or is it? I have set up 9 deadly traps that get more intense and dangerous as we go. And I'm going to use them to try to stop Jeff and his clone army from stealing the powerful piece. Will I be able to stop the heist? Or will Jeff end up stealing the silver piece? Well, let's find out by setting up trap number 1. This is the facility where the silver piece is being protected. Trap 1 is going to be a ton of security on the outside. And to start off with the security, I built up these 2 tall towers. I placed one of them on this side of the table and the other one on the other side. Now these 2 towers are technically giant sensors. If anything goes in between them, the 2 towers will detect the movement and send a signal to the facility. And the turrets that we're gonna build in just a second will target whatever moved past the 2 towers. Now this is turret number 1. It uses a spring-loaded shooter that you push down on the back of it to pretty much fire at anything. This is turret number 2, and it is a spinning arm turret. And it also uses another spring-loaded shooter. The third turret is an all-terrain vehicle turret, and this one has a stud shooter on the top of it. You just click this button and it fires. I also built a fireball turret that I'm going to attach on top of the facility. And the final turret is this large turret thing. I don't know what to call it. But I'm able to attach it to this rail right here, so it can move across the entire rail guarding the front entrance. Now, with tons of defenses guarding the facility, I think we need a lot more. So I built 2 jacked-looking security guards, and I gave one a minigun, and I gave the other whatever you call this crazy turret gun thing. I put the guard with the minigun at the front entrance, and the other guard is going on top of this watchtower, so he can fire at any intruders from way up high. Speaking of intruders, here comes Jeff and his clone army right now. Jeff almost walked right through the sensor towers, but just before he did, he noticed them. He picked up one of his clones and fully yeeted him right through the sensors. Now, Jeff, seeing his clone literally burnt to a crisp, he told the rest of his clones to knock down the towers. And that's exactly what they did. They took down both the towers, destroying them. And now with the towers down, Jeff's army proceeded forward. But obviously, all of the turrets saw them knock down the towers, so the all-terrain vehicle turret charged after them. And it fired at them, knocking out another clone. And when a Jeff clone is destroyed, they will eventually vanish. The turret vehicle was not finished with them yet, but Jeff had other plans and jumped straight at the turret. He landed right on top of the turret and ripped the gun right off. The first turret was destroyed. But while he was distracted, one of the other turrets had already locked on him, and it fired instantly. But Jeff saw it coming, so he jumped off the turret, barely dodging the bullet. And Jeff was safe, but it took out a bunch of his clones behind him. And he watched those clones disintegrate. Now Jeff was angry, so he told his army to swarm everything. And that is exactly what they did. They were taking out turrets left and right, but they were also being shot by something else. The guard on top of the tower. Jeff saw the guard shooting at all of his clones, so he chucked his blade right at the guard, taking him out. Two of the clones destroyed the turret on the rail, which meant the only thing still standing in their way is the guard with the minigun. He used his minigun to try to keep him away, but Jeff took out the guard pretty easily. So they obliterated the entire security system. One of the clones took the guard behind the facility, and then Jeff and the rest of the clones entered the building. Welcome, Jeff, to level 2. Your objective is simple. Break open the door in front of you. Once you do that, you can advance to level 3. Good luck. Jeff ordered his clones to break open the door. So some of Jeff's clones went to see if they could get the door open. But while they're trying to get the door open, the floor suddenly collapsed, which is all a part of trap number 2, the compactor. They fell in between these two large pieces of wood, and the wood started to close in on them. But he realized he could use his sword to help him to try to climb out. He stuck his blade into one side of the wood and climbed out. But the rest of the clones that don't have a sword weren't that lucky, and the wooden walls came closing in on them, squishing them all. But we are not able to get Jeff, because he was able to climb out safely. While Jeff was in the compactor, the clones were able to break open the door, and they all went through the door. Now it's time to set up trap number 3. Now right now it's pretty simple. They just have to walk to the other side to get to the door. We just need to place down this item. Now you might be asking what this item is. This is a sticky glue trap, which are supposed to catch mice. Let's see if Jeff and his army can get across the sticky trap and into the next room. Jeff forced the clone in the front to walk on the trap, and the clone listened to him, and he sadly walked over to the trap. And while he was walking over there, the rest of the clones saluted. He approached the sticky trap, and then he jumped right into it. And he was completely stuck. And he fell over face first right into it. And now that Jeff clone is sadly stuck there forever. That's when Jeff had a brilliant idea. He was gonna have his clones make a clone bridge right over the sticky trap. He needed 2 more clones to get into the trap, and he chose these 2 in front. So they walked over to the sticky trap. Then the first clone jumped on the clone in the sticky trap, and he hopped into the sticky trap and fell face forward. Then the next one came along, hopping on the last 2 clones, and he hopped in as well and also fell face forward. And now they have made a bridge for Jeff and the rest of the clones to get across. Then he told the rest of his clones to hop on to the other side as well. And while they did that, Jeff walked over to the door and went into the next room. And at first, this room doesn't seem so bad. Except for one thing. This is the deadly laser maze. So Jeff ordered one of his clones to test the laser to see how dangerous it actually is. And the clone walked over to the laser. He walked into the laser and completely started burning. It completely burned his face and he fell to the ground. Now Jeff knew how dangerous the laser really was. But Jeff is a parkour master, so he started by jumping over the first laser. Then he jumped over the second and third laser, he slid under the next laser, and he flipped over the last 2, getting to the other side. And Jeff walked into the next room. Now the rest of the clones had to get through the laser maze as well. They jumped over the lasers, slid under some, and got to the end and went to the door. But one of the clones wasn't so careful, and he accidentally jumped into the laser, and he was burned by it as well. But the rest of the clones were able to make it to the next room. They entered the next room with the next trap, and it is a very interesting one. It is the subscriber detector. All it does is detect if you are a subscriber to Master Builders. If you are, it turns green. But if you're not, spot, it turns red. And what happens next? You'll just have to find out for yourself. Now, Jeff knew he wasn't a subscriber, so he demanded that one of his clones would go up instead. But all of the clones were too scared to do it. So Jeff took matters into his own hands and grabbed one of the clones and chucked him onto the platform. And then the room went silent. Jeff and his army watched as it detected his clone. And he was not a subscriber. So he gets launched all the way to space. And that Jeff was gone forever. Then he asked if anyone was subscribed to raise their hand. And one of them did. Jeff commanded him to walk on the platform, and he did. Then the machine started detecting him, and he was a subscriber. So now they are allowed to pass. Once Jeff saw it green, he quickly ran across the platform to the other side. And the rest of his clones followed as well to the next room. For this trap, I set up not one, not two, not even three, but 4 mouse traps. I also set up walls on both sides so they have to go through the traps. Jeff knew exactly what to do to get past this one. Use his clones again. He grabbed one of his clones and chucked him as hard as he can right onto one of the traps. And now the Jeff clone is stuck in the trap. Now they only have 3 traps to get through. Jeff asked if there were any volunteers to go next. And one of the clones actually raised his hand. So they watched as he went over to the mouse trap. The clone saw his other clone friend stuck there and knew he was gonna be next. Now he was ready to do it, so he jumped and landed on the trap. Because he hit that trap, it actually flung and deactivated the other 2 traps. So now there is a clear path to get to the next room. But that clone was sadly not so lucky as well. Jeff and his army walked over to the next door and proceeded to the next room. There is this tube right here that is a walkway to the next room. So all they have to do is walk inside of it and it'll lead them to the next room. Jeff and his army went over to check it out. Jeff peeked inside of it to see if there was anything sus about it. He still didn't trust it though, so he told his clones to go in first. And they started to walk into it. Come on guys, it's fine. The tube was not a walkway to the next room, it was actually a vacuum. And it started to pull the minifigures into it. Jeff was trying to run as fast as he could, but he was getting pulled closer and closer to the vacuum. But then he saw there was a random button that appeared. So with all of his might, he jumped over to the button and pressed it. Once he clicked it, the vacuum deactivated. Jeff and his clones survived, but a bunch of them didn't make it. And now a giant hand picked up Jeff and all of his clones, taking them to the next room. Now this is the next trap. Jeff and his clones have to get to the door on the other side. I will give you one hint. Watch your step. The clones saw the door on the other side, so they began to walk to it. But they didn't watch their step because they tripped on some tripwire. One of the clones tried to do a flip over it. That didn't work. One of the clones looked up and saw something terrifying. A giant saw. Jeff jumped to the other side trying to stay away from the saw, and it came down on all the minifigures that tripped. And they were all gone. I actually found some of the pieces to the clones. Now the door on the other side was actually fake. It was just a test. And the giant hand picked them up to the final spot. They were placed down right in front of the silver piece. They had finally made it. The clones all ran to the piece surrounding it. But Jeff could tell something was off. It was a fake. He yelled at his clones to run, but it was too late. The flamethrower turned on. Jeff quickly jumped off the platform they were on, and it began melting the rest of Jeff's clones and the fake silver piece. The fire spread throughout the entire platform, and all 6 of Jeff's last clones were all burnt to a crisp. And while that was happening, Jeff was falling, and he hit the ground below the platform. He looked around, and surprisingly, there was a door down there. He quickly ran to it and hopped through. And there was the silver piece. The real one this time. Jeff had survived all of the traps, and he used all of his clones to protect him from the traps. And now it was right in front of him. And once he gets it, nothing can stand in his way. Oh, did I forget to mention I had one extra secret trap? The giant boulder that will crush any minifigure. And that was the end of Jeffrey Brickman III. Thanks for playing my game, Jeff, but your reign of terrorism is over. And now, no one will dare to try to steal the silver piece. And the guards will protect this silver piece at all costs. Except, the guard was the real Jeff. The real Jeff was the one that took the guard behind the facility at the beginning of the video. He had changed suits with another clone to trick us all. He pushed over the boulder. He put on his suit and walked straight to the piece. And now nothing was standing in his way. And he used the silver piece to teleport to another reality. And he was gone. Jeff had teleported to the Star Wars world, and he fought Darth Vader because he wanted something from him. His lightsaber. He kept fighting till he was able to knock out Darth Vader. And Jeff picked up Darth Vader's lightsaber and teleported away. He teleported to his secret base and he put the lightsaber into his collection. Because Jeff's plan is to steal a bunch of powerful items from different worlds to use them in his plan. Jeff kept going to different worlds and stole powerful items from each world. And Jeff's collection of powerful items grew until some mysterious people found his base.